how do I say this that it doesn't sound weird?
It's going to sound weird.
It's going to sound weird,
sound
right?
weird.
It can't just be in your head. You have to have gotten rid of your dick. Cutting the nutsack off, like it gets rid of the aggression. Yeah, this is real science. I know coming from me in the wording that I use. So you're telling me you're transgender, but 85 of 100 of you are walking around with your dicks? Right, but 50% of them want dicks.
They want them.
Dick envy. What I'm not for is imposing our life, our Western culture
upon other people.
On another country.
Yep.
Medicaid is health insurance, is welfare for the poor. It's welfare. But I'm not willing to just give money to these other countries and we're trying to like penny pinch over here like we're trying to save a buck. Sometimes, if you got to go kick somebody's ass, go kick their ass. But that doesn't mean we should be running their life afterwards. So Gaetz withdrew, Bondi is in. And can we say?
Yes, you can. Very good looking woman.
Dude, good for us. I don't know what evidence I have, but I'm going to say this anyways.
That's cool with me.
I want super well qualified women in these positions of power to shove it down their motherfucking throat.
I love
He is playing chess, man.
Love it.
This doesn't end well unless it ends. Can't just report the fucking obvious.
I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come
Just a
and run it all
motherfucking
back.
jump. Just go. Man, holy fuck, what the fuck are you doing? Listening to the Outlaw Apostle podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. Yeah, you and about 10 other people. Congratulations. No, we're glad to have you aboard. Anyone and everyone, as we continue to do this, continue to grow, and helping me grow this thing is Chase.
Hello.
Brother. Man, I'm feeling good because it's Thursday night.
Gotta love Thursday
My
nights,
Steelers, man. Thursday night football, playing Thursday night football, and I'm really happy someone pointed this out on my Facebook page that his kid, I don't know, is some kind of savant. Well, he won't be after tonight. That the Pittsburgh Steelers have not won a game on Thursday night against a division opponent.
Okay, specifically division opponent. Okay.
Because Monday Night Football, you don't want to play us on Monday Night Football. Like you just don't want to do that. That was good. Yeah, see my video of my shoes.
Sorry.
I got those on today too,
those
man.
Are beautiful, by the way. I love
Dude,
them. Green's my favorite color. So
these, I can't even remember who it was. One of somebody, I think a client, who's also on my Facebook, posted his wife bought him these shoes.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, ooh, I
the color on those are
I gotta have those.
Nice.
And so I did, and I do have them. And so I posted it, StockX.
I was about to say, you love StockX. I've noticed you like to shop on StockX.
It just, I kind of like knowing and confirming that they're legit and stuff, because there's so many sites out there and different places you can get stuff from. Yeah, so I do kind of like that they kind of confirm it.
I don't blame you.
And look them over.
Do not blame you.
Especially, for the kind of money you start spending on shoes.
On shoes? Hell yeah.
I've spent a little money. I'm like, well, and we'll do that. We haven't done that, man. Maybe we'll do that and insert that for this show.
Yeah, I'd be down.
We'll go back in the room and show people the shoe room.
Cool. I'm down with that.
All right. Because I know people want to see the shoe room. We'll show them the shoe room. We're recording. I got the, because as we're doing this, Pittsburgh will at least get started in the game, but I have it where it's set up so I can go back to the beginning. I'll watch it from the beginning. I'll fast forward through commercials and stuff and, whatever. But I'm excited. But I do have, and that's why I'm having you pull this up. I am sharing this. Now, if one of you degenerates, you can't jump on board because we're not live. So thank God. I was just going to say, if one of you degenerates bets on this, don't blame me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But this is a pretty good bet. This is how I've been betting. a lot lately. I do mostly parlays, and this is a 4 same game parlay, picking the Steelers to win. Najee Harris, 50 plus yards. Steelers, as I said, the money line, which just means they just have to win.
Yep.
Nick Chubb, who I respect, dude's a great back.
Oh yeah.
And for them to be in this game now, it depends on, that one could hurt me later on if.
Depends on how much he gets the ball. Because I mean,
well, if Pittsburgh jumps out to a big lead, then they might be playing catch up and not be running. Gotcha. That's where that kind of thing can hurt.
So realistically, you'd like to have this as close as possible.
No,
until
I'll lose the money. I want the win, baby. I want the win.
I love that. I
want the win.
Not a lot of people would say that. So I love that.
Because I got other bets. I'm betting NHL.
NHL, really?
Yep, I got an NHL bet. I got men's basketball, college basketball, and pros. I did hit one last night that was good. That it was total points. I think it was like
combined with the teams.
Yeah, it was total points on but 3 or 4 different games. Total points, and took the over in all of them, and they all hit. So
nice.
that was
Hell yeah.
That was good. But I had some other small ones that did. Like I said, I'm literally being totally honest and transparent about this. I put in 500, another 500, another 500. So I've put in a total of 1,500 into this account.
Okay.
And I've had right around 2,000, maybe a little bit more because I had some bets out, but I've had around 2,000 in the account, besides having a couple bets out. And I've been down to almost nothing and bet everything, to where if my bets lost, I would have had nothing again. But I basically keep winning and losing the same $1,500. Yeah. And so I'm hoping this time, that I can, with a bet,
get a winning streak,
get a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
Just a little bit ahead. I'm hoping for that.
I mean, this is a great choices. In my opinion, this is a great choice.
Well, I bet on my home team last night, the University of Toledo football game, and it was 7-7 at half, and then they got killed in the second half. And they're usually a pretty solid MAC football team on a regular basis, but yeah, not last night. They took a shit on me on that one. But some of them, smaller bets, just 10 here, 20 there. But when I'm really confident, I go in.
Hell yeah.
And this is, where I'm going to do 100 to 300.
I mean, that's a solid bet. I mean, all those, like I said, earlier, these are highly probable.
And you could have done Najee Harris for 70, and it would have a higher payout.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing. That's why I'm combining these. What's most likely to happen?
Yep.
And that's going to give me a payday.
Yeah. Oh,
that's what I'm. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm
trying
trying to
a few more $100.
It's never a sure thing.
Exactly.
But I'm trying to skew it to my side as best I can.
100%.
As best I can.
I agree with that.
Trying to do that. So just follow along. Follow along in my Facebook. This just tells you a good reason, folks, to follow me on other social media.
Oh yeah.
It's the best. And that way too. And the cool thing is, you can follow me. You can. I probably have a couple slots for a friend request. I don't have many, maybe 20 or 30, because I'm close to the 5,000 max. I have over 5,000 follow me. And you can have as many people follow you as you want, but as true friends list, it maxes out at 5,000 on Facebook. I did not know
that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And
you can't have too many friends, Troy. All right, you relax there.
Right. We want a bunch of them. But the cool thing about my page is, don't be stupid. But the cool thing about my page is that it's open for everybody. I don't have any privacy settings or anything like that. Did you see this?
Yeah, I did. I did see this. Did you see the video of the trans woman giving birth, or trans man, or whatever it was? Yeah. Yeah. I'll pull it up for you.
Oh my God! Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. So we might as well get into that. So do you know what to do, or you just think you know what to do? Because if you know what to do, you would have done it already. Share the show. Please subscribe, but share the show. Help us get to some numbers that we need to get to as far as subscription. So, Ask a friend. Ask a friend. Hey, I watched this one show. Would you mind logging on your phone and subscribing? Whatever we have to do, because that's what's going to help us get it out to more people. And we want to do it organically. We want this to grow organically, but that'll help it pop up, when people do certain searches and things like that, because that's how it works. All right. So that's how you can help us, is just by the sharing. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff, the fucking guy. House Representative, is it Nancy Mace? Put a resolution to the floor on protecting the bathrooms in the Capitol.
Yep.
Right? And I believe Sarah, or whoever the fuck her name is, that is the first open trans woman
McBride
representative, from Delaware, has said that she's. I appreciate that she, because it's a man woman.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to do it here. So you have women, and you have men, women.
Yes.
She's a man woman.
Okay.
That she's going to use the corresponding bathroom that she should have to. And again, you know what? It still boils down to, how do I say this that it doesn't sound weird?
It's going to sound weird.
It's going to sound weird, right?
Weird, yeah.
To me, in none of these stories, you don't know if they still have a dick or not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you made a full transition?
I don't think that will ever be public now. Like, it's like,
yeah, but why wouldn't you, if you're going to be out there, if you're going to say this, if you're going to promote this, if you're going to say because to me, to truly be a person who's transitioned, to truly be a man who believes he's a woman and becomes a woman, that it can't just be in your head.
Yep.
You have to have gotten rid of your dick.
Yeah.
And I don't care whether you have a dick or not, but I'm just saying so that we know, where are you on this?
So there's no gray
spectrum.
area. Because there's a
big
gray
dude.
area that everyone's like, oh, well, I'm this, I'm that. But in reality, it's a completely different thing going on.
I mean, this shit's not new. We've been going I remember.
This backtracks to like the 60s.
Well, I can tell you.
I saw an article not too long ago.
And so this would have been like 1985, 1986.
Give or take, yeah.
1986, probably, right? When I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
I started working for Value City department stores in Northwood, Ohio. It was a smaller Value City.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple dudes that came in, and they used to try on women's clothes.
Yeah.
There.
That's always been
Now, we had a dressing room in the middle of the store, and I think they made them like go there. Like if there was nobody over on the other side or other women that it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But but they did that. But these were dudes that dressed up as women.
Yeah.
They had their dicks.
100%.
These were cross-dressers.
Yep.
And they might have even been performers too.
Yep.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm kind of thinking,
usually
as I remember,
back then,
it was,
they were pretty, like, if they were pretty
because,
out
well,
and about it, they're usually
you had,
performing.
yeah, you had people that do that kind of stuff, performances and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. But when we're talking about politics, when we're talking about policy and what matters,
and
to me, it matters.
People.
Yeah, it matters if you got your dick or not. If you've made because to me, if you got rid of your dick, you're fully committed.
Yeah.
You're fully committed. And if that's the case, and you have fully committed and your dick is gone and I'm kind of going to be more okay with you using the women's restroom.
You feel more
because if you don't have your dick, what else don't you have?
Exactly.
You ain't got your nuts. And that's been proven, like for people that are pedophiles and stuff, that have issues, like cutting the nutsack off, like it gets rid of the aggression. This is
science.
This is science.
Science.
This is science. This is real science. I know, coming from me, in the wording that I use.
And the hat you're wearing. Get the
I
right
know it
idea.
doesn't sound like science, but it's actually real science. That, I mean, most people would be more okay with it. Does that make that make sense?
I completely get what you're saying.
But if you're in a locker room with my daughter and you're dressed up as a woman and you undress and you got 4 inches flying around, okay, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No.
No. No. Yeah.
No.
100%.
No.
100%.
That doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And why don't we hear about this? Okay, why don't we hear about the reverse? Because
it's not as common.
You think so?
Or at least it's what I really think it is.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know what the numbers are. How do the numbers of men women compare to the number of women men? So trans men, how many do they have? A guess of how many?
Good thing we have Google.
Of how many people are women men?
There are more transgender women than transgender men.
By what's the number?
An estimate about 1 in every 30,000 people. Oh, what? No, that's
right.
That
Trans men are 1 in 100,000. So it's more common for a woman to be a dude than it is a dude to be a woman. Oh, 1 in 30,000. So it's 3 times. So let's say you have 30,000, right? 30,000, just to use the number that they had, 1 in 30,000. But to say there's 30,000 men that are women, women, then there would be about 10,000, about a third, because that's what those numbers look like, that are women men. But still, you have them, right? You still have them. They're not in equal numbers, but still, that's not as crazy a difference. There's only 3 times as many men, women as there are women, men. Mm-hmm. But we don't see a lot. We don't hear about women, men wanting to be in men's locker rooms.
I think it's more of like again, more of a mental illness, kind of, in my opinion, because like when
it was before, but that was the science at one time.
No. It's much different now, Troy. No, but I think it's again, like when you're going from male to female, I feel like it's a lot more like there's like something behind it, right? Like you want more attention, you want like this and that, and I feel like when you go from female to male, again, I can be completely wrong. This is just what I've observed over the years, is that they're less worried about getting the attention and more worried about living their lives, from what I've noticed. A lot of the times, again, this is my personal experience. I know a few people out there. I have some friends and stuff like that. A lot of the times, like when they go from male to female, it's more, I don't know. Again, in my opinion, a lot more of a mental illness in a lot more cases, just because it's like there's some sort of issue that's making you feel like you need to get extra attention, and that you feel like you need these rights and this and that because you want to be entitled to something. A lot of the times what I've noticed when it comes to women going to men, it's a lot more like just because they want to do it, I guess. Like it's a lot less like, give me my rights, and it's more of like, this is just who I am and I'm going to go about my life. It's the one thing I've noticed. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't.
But whether or not it's more,
I was just curious that you just don't see the reverse being an issue or being talked about.
In my lifetime, I've never seen it be like
just
a huge issue.
Dudes who want to be in.
I think it's harder to accept, I guess, and this is just me going off the top of my head. I guess it's a little bit more acceptable in a way to be from female to male than it is from male to female. If I had to guess, like it feels, I don't know. Again,
I don't know.
It just, in my opinion, it just feels. I don't know if it's because I'm a man, so it feels weird having to convert from male to female than it is from female to male. Because I've had like female friends are like
And
that are like
besides,
dudes.
and besides like hormone therapy,
Yeah.
besides a woman man
Yeah.
getting testosterone, I mean, how many of them are getting fake dicks?
I don't that is because I don't know because I really don't.
I mean, it's a thing though,
it's
right?
definitely a thing. I've had I have family members that have done like the
Which way?
from I have both. One of my closest uncles growing up
Is your aunt?
is my aunt, yeah. And it was hilarious because my dad growing up never called her a woman. He would always call her by his name, his original name.
Okay.
So like I grew up around like trans people. Like weirdly enough, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just like, 'cause she cut hair. She was a barber, so we'd always go over. We
Okay.
would drive out to Phoenix. She cut her hair and stuff like that. And
Right.
obviously kids, they're like, her voice is really deep. She's like 6 foot something. Like she's like she's a pretty big woman, So I was always
okay.
like, there's something wrong with her.
Okay. Does
But
your uncle aunt still have his dick?
She does not know.
She got it chopped off.
Oh, yeah.
She's like fully dedicated.
fully dedicated.
You know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
There you go. But that's somebody that's committed
Yep.
to that life.
Yeah. 100%.
Look, like if you make that decision,
That's okay. And she was a
that's
cool
it,
aunt,
man.
She was a
That's
dope aunt
cool.
or uncle or whatever you want to call her. Like she was dope. Like I had no at that age. That's not what I was worried about, right? But she wasn't a weird person. She did drag. She did all that like cross dressing and
Right.
stuff like that. But that was normal to her. And to me, it was normal that she would do it because I had no concept of the idea of like turning from man to woman or woman to man.
Right.
It was just like she was my aunt, and that's all I ever took it until like I was like 15, 16. I was like, is she a man?
when the cousins let you in, the other cousins let you in on the
man.
secret.
Oh yeah, it was a weird like realization because I always had an idea, but I was a kid. I didn't really fucking care. And then I
Right.
got to the age, and I'm like, oh well, that makes a lot of
It
sense.
makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's all okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like
'Cause-
that was real commitment. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like that's
No, but
Again.
that was the person I was closest to. But I've had other family members, other like same way from female to man, man to female. I don't know too much of the details on that end because part of a family
I
that I'm
think
not
more
too,
of that's just the hormones.
I believe so too. I really do too. Because
To get a more masculine appearance.
correct.
The hair.
Yep.
Being able that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
'Cause
know
to my knowledge,
how
again,
many of them are.
fully committed. I
Well, I don't know how many are adding the dick on.
really don't think it's that many. I'll be honest with you, because like I don't know. I grew up around a lot of like what do you call them, tomboys?
Yeah.
Or like dykes or whatever you want to call them. Like
The tomboy is just a girl that was
dressing up like a dude.
that was just very very
Just masculine, like the way she dresses
yeah,
and
just
goes about her.
boyish,
Yeah.
just athletic usually.
Yeah.
Just
And I mean,
yeah.
I grew up around a
Just
lot of
wasn't-
those people, but
yeah.
they weren't like, oh, I need to have a fucking penis. Like,
No.
it was just like that was just how they lived their like kind of life. Like, so I really don't I couldn't answer that question. Maybe Google can, but
I don't know. We'll have it there.
I don't know if they'll have that.
Anyways, there might be a vote on it in Congress on how this. But look, they do have every congressman in
Mhm.
their office has their own bathroom. Has their own bathroom in their office, and then
So-
there are
Go ahead, sorry.
then there are bathrooms that are for like a lot of times like if there's and I'll do this
Yeah.
at a gas station, if there's a gas station that where the door is locked,
Oh, like
it
a family
locks-
bathroom?
no, but it'll say it's for a woman, but if the
It's like
if
a
the
one-person
but it's a
bathroom.
one person
Yeah.
bathroom, I'll fucking use
Hell
it.
yeah,
I don't
what the
care.
fuck?
Everything like
Hell
fuck
yeah.
this. It was like who cares? And you can make those gender, both genders now. They'll
They're
put up
both
those signs
genders,
now.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
do
they
that now. But they have those around the Capitol too. So it's not like you're making it difficult or you're denying this person,
The
you
ability
know,
to use the restroom.
their ability
Yeah.
to go to the restroom or giving them some kind of indignity.
Yeah.
And stuff. That's not happening here. It's just where it's open, where
anyone.
there's multiple troughs or whatever. All right. That's it. So what do you got?
So experts estimate that 5 to 13% of transgender women get bottom surgery, which is what they call it. So only about 13%, up to 13% of trans women get the actual bottom surgery. So you got about 80% of people that actually, 80-ish, 85% of women that actually won't get the bottom surgery, depending on this.
So you're telling me you're transgender,
Yep.
but 85 of 100 of you are walking around with your dicks?
Other way around.
No, that's not what that. I don't think so.
No. So only 4% of trans men will have the bottom surgery.
Well, a trans man is a woman who becomes a man.
That shit confuses me so much.
I know. That's why you got. If it says trans woman, okay, it's man woman. If it's trans man, it's woman man. That's why I say it that way to so we keep it straight, which would make sense, right?
Yeah. So only about 4% of men, women,
right? But 50% of them want dicks.
they want them.
Dick envy, man. That's.
And it costs.
Do they call that big dick envy or big dick envy or like if you see the big? Oh my God, this shit is off the rails.
Okay, so here you go.
But that's funny.
So 42 to 54% of transgender men have had their gender reassignment surgery compared to only 28% of transgender women.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
It's a big difference.
Oh yeah. And just in case
But
you wanted
even
to know,
there,
to get yourself a brand new dick, anywhere from $7,000 to $25,000. Just in case you want to know that.
yeah, but it just you're just not. But there's a lot of pretending going on. Is my point. A lot of pretending.
Yep.
That's it. Okay. That's a,
Nice way to start the episode.
So we're gonna, this is important because it's important for sports and things that we pointed out previously. What's we might as well continue on this line.
Yeah, there's no reason not to.
Is I don't know if you saw we brought up the Trump dance on the last episode, and to do the Trump dance, you have to do it gay. That's the only way it really works. If you want to do the Trump dance right, you got to do it gay, which is there. So it became big last Sunday for the NFL, right? And really exploded. Like it has started before that, like a week before that with some college players and then some soccer players. You saw a soccer player do it. They're just doing it for fun.
Oh, yeah.
They're not thinking, their total meltdown from this USA Today opinion writer, total meltdown on the Trump dance and how they're going to regret doing it because you're just normalizing Trump and like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Like you are so motherfucking triggered. It's just people being funny and stupid. But then it became John Jones did it, the UFC, a lot of the NFL players saw that, and then they took off with it on Sunday. And, doing it, and they celebrate, groups celebrate now. It's not just the player that makes the play. If you make an interception, the whole defense does a picture. They all do that, right?
Yeah.
Well, the NFL came out with a statement today, apparently, or yesterday, came out with a statement that it's okay.
Why wouldn't it be okay?
Well, that was the question that Stephen A. asked. With totally respect for that dude and some of the things that he said recently, because he's not a Trump supporter. He is more, but the dude is reason. I say I can deal with people like that because he's like, hey, Trump won by a lot. This is not close. And the whole woke culture, the whole cancel culture and calling that out, huge calling that out. I think that's fantastic to have people like him do that.
I agree.
So, but yeah, because you did have Bosa who was fined $11,000 for the hat. He was fined for the hat.
I did not know.
He wasn't fined for the dance. But the whole point, which you just said as well, like, why would they have to say anything? When do they comment on dances at
Ever.
all?
Ever.
All. Well, the only time they commented on it was back when, was it Terrell Owens?
When they were doing all the gun stuff.
Wow, no, dude. Like one time he pulled a phone
Oh, he
out
took a
of
selfie.
he had the cell phone in the.
in his.
No, he had it on the goalpost.
Oh, was it on the goalpost?
Yes,
Yeah?
and he took it out like and he had like that is so.
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
you're right,
knew
you're
you
right,
were
you're
gonna
right.
score. That's even more
even better.
arrogant.
Hell
I
yeah,
love
I
that
love that.
shit,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
I love that.
No, I agree, 100%.
And they didn't like that kind of stuff, but just because of the political ramifications, wondering what they were going to do, but the fact that they had to say something. Well, why'd you have to say anything at all?
Makes no sense.
Why would you say
It's
anything at all?
It's so fucking stupid.
And you know what? And then you look at the players that did this.
Yeah.
You want to talk about unity?
Honestly, though, like,
Dude, every race and ethnicity is doing the Trump dance.
everyone is doing it around the world.
Right?
Around the world. Not just the United States, by
You
the
know
way.
where they're not doing the Trump
world.
dance, though?
Yes, we do.
In Ukraine.
Did you
They're
see-
not doing the Trump dance in Ukraine.
I don't know if this is off topic, but did you see that they're finally, they sent the first IBM?
Yeah,
Did you
I
see
did.
that?
I posted it
I did see
on
that
my
you posted
Facebook.
that.
Like, and we're going to get into
Cool.
that as well because I'm so pissed, dude, as an American, and then to find out today as well that there's about a $9 billion. Or anyways, look up Ukrainian loan forgiven. Yeah, they're 4.7
billion?
million. And there's another six. I think there's another 6 billion or 5 or 6 billion that's supposed to be given that can be forgiven next year. But this administration, it comes late enough in January that this administration is going to be gone and they're not going to be able to forgive it. And then Trump doesn't have to forgive it. Dude, what was the point of making it a loan in the first place? What, just to make it sound better for the American people?
Oh, yeah.
Like, look, again, we have people right now, still struggling in the United States from hurricanes, from natural disasters that were totally, these are God events, right? Because they're totally out of your control.
To our knowledge.
Right. And these people are still struggling, but we're more concerned with forgiving money to Ukraine and whatever monies we haven't given them yet, giving it to them, or weapons. And that includes, I don't know if we brought this up, these landmines that they're getting. Here's the thing about the landmines, that there is a treaty that a ton of countries signed, like a bunch of countries, like most of the countries. You know who didn't sign it? We didn't sign it. Russia didn't sign it. So if Russia's using it, fine. But you know who did sign it? Ukraine. So the exact kind of weapons that they signed a treaty for to not use, they want us to give them. So you mean you're against the weapons unless you actually feel you need the weapons? Is that it?
That's
Like, do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole moral
like
part
a,
of
like a
that.
just in case.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay
When it benefits them. No,
because they feel like it would slow Russia down as far as advancing, and because it would be
Gotcha.
harder to advance
with landmines
because you
all over
don't
the
know
place.
if you're going to step on something stupid.
Yep.
And I'm not alone. I know, and a lot of Americans. I think they're just totally misreading this.
In what way?
Well, the people who are misleading this, are on the left.
Gotcha.
And mostly politicians, because I'm going to tell you that if we just randomly talked to Democratic voters,
Okay.
that most of your Democratic voters are not thinking this shit's cool either.
No.
I
would doubt
just don't. And then there's so funny on Facebook. I totally ripped this dude on my page, Peter, because Peter was a a foreign exchange student when I was in high school. Came to our school from Switzerland, I believe, right? And the funny thing is, this dude has nothing ever to say on my Facebook ever until this thing I put up about Ukraine. And he knows absolutely nothing about the situation, about how America is, we're responsible in a very big way for poking the bear. And I'm talking about the Russian bear.
Yeah.
Okay. We have to be willing to admit that sometimes we do shit. Right?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
And this is one of those cases where, after World War II and other times when, the formation of NATO and then, the potential expansion of NATO. And we made certain promises that we weren't going to do certain things, and we have violated those promises. Things we said we were going to do, we've done anyways. In the expansion of NATO, and it may be more recent talking about, adding Ukraine, that the war had already started. But look, you have to understand, we had said that was never a possibility. And I even posted that for him to read. Like, look, the information is out there. You don't have to take Troy's word for it. I don't know fucking shit. You have to take my word for it. But you can find information out there that's not biased information about things that we said we were going to do, and then now we've done it. And again, I think the example last time, we would not tolerate an alliance between Russia and Mexico and putting certain Russian missiles in Mexico aimed at us. We wouldn't tolerate that for a fucking second.
Nope.
So why would we expect, because we just don't like Russia, because they're the enemy, and so we're supposed to expect them to be okay with us doing that?
We have to trust it, Troy. We got to trust.
Right. We're not talking about, a European country that's not bordering Russia. We are specifically, we are antagonizing them by adding countries that are right on the motherfucking border. And we don't trust them. They don't trust us.
Yeah.
Totally legit both ways.
I was about to say the
totally
history
legit.
is there.
But why should they trust us?
There's zero reason for them to trust us.
And especially when we said we weren't going to do it, and we are. And again, this.
Do people not remember the Cold War? Is that not something people remember?
Dude,
or
my generation
was that
knows.
secret?
Look, my generation, you didn't have to do this.
No.
You didn't have drills when you were in school.
Well, we didn't have to do them, but they did teach us the drills that you guys had to do.
Dude, it was stupid.
It was so stupid. Get on your
Like,
desk.
what are we going to do? And put your hands over your head, curl up in a ball.
That shit was so funny to me.
It's so stupid.
That shit was
dude,
so
the
funny
dumbest
to me.
shit.
Yeah, I remember back in
Because
elementary
did
school,
that.
they made us do that once or
Or
twice.
we'd be in the hall. Like, what the fuck is that going to do if there was a nuclear attack? Dumbest shit in the world, man.
Oh, shit.
That they had us do.
Yeah, you're not wrong, though. That shit was funny to me. Even as a kid, I was like, what is
Well,
this
the
gonna
thing
do?
is,
How's this
again,
going to help
there
us?
was a time, and I get it,
Yeah.
where we push back, where, they were the enemy. And that's how I was raised,
Yeah.
and we were raised.
Oh, yeah.
Russia's
even I still got that.
look at the movies were the movies and the way they were, and popular. Like,
There's a reason Nazis are so frowned upon is because there's like social media, movies, everything has like, and what do people associate Nazis with?
absolutely.
That's the Germans, Russians, the people, everyone involved with.
Absolutely.
It's just a natural thing that we like. At least as Americans, how we were taught, we're just naturally gonna feel that way.
Right, but especially Russia, because
Yeah.
that was it.
The Soviet Union,
that
et
was
cetera, et cetera, et
absolutely
cetera. Yep. Yeah.
that was that way for us. But now, like,
Peace,
we
man.
just
World
want,
peace.
man. I'm all for leadership through strength.
Oh yeah.
I'm for having the strongest army. I'm
Yep.
for having the best weapons. I'm for having the best trained men and women. I'm for all of that.
Yeah.
What I'm not for is imposing our life, our Western culture
Upon other people.
on another country.
Yep.
They have every right to choose their way of life and how they want to be governed.
Yeah.
We do not, it used to be a mission of the U.S. to convert them. Not anymore. We need to just focus on getting our own shit together, our own country together,
Yep.
and focus that money here, because the other part is you don't even know where this money's going.
Nope. Not
I don't
even
know.
a
Are people
penny.
paying attention
Oh hell no.
to the stories that are coming out about what the Department of Defense for the 7th year in a row that they failed audits? Now, the money maybe went to legitimate things that were needed and wasn't stolen, or that, you see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not like it was
Yeah,
stolen or
yeah.
misplaced or misappropriated but the issue that most of us have with this is, if you're a business and you did this and you
you're going
and
to
you
jail.
run your business like this, the IRS is coming after your
You're going
ass.
to jail.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do this. Why shouldn't they be held to a higher standard
Because they run
of the
place.
money, where the money's going? I mean, this is insanity, man.
7 audits, by the way, they failed.
In a row.
7.
In a row. So that must mean that maybe one time it did pass an audit. I don't know.
or at least that's what the auditor said.
Right, but this is we're talking about a lot of money, and I actually have to agree with some folks on the left that are complaining about a proposal to require people on Medicaid. Now, Medicaid is not just a health insurance program. Medicaid is health insurance, is welfare for the poor. It's welfare. And now they don't want to call it what it is in the news articles. They don't want to call it welfare anymore. It is welfare. All right. But this whole proposal, and I get how you want people, and I want people to have jobs, to get back in the workforce, to, have certain work requirements. I get that. But we're talking about $10 billion here of potential savings over maybe 10 years. All right.
Yeah, it would take
$1
some time
billion a year. It's nothing, man.
compared to
That's
everything
nothing.
else. No.
But y'all just forgave that amount of money, or almost that amount of money, to fucking Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
So again, that's where I'm coming from. It's not that I'm trying to agree with liberals and what they have going on, or what that's not it at all. I'm not for the giveaways. I don't think that makes a good society.
Because you get a bunch of entitlement.
I'm for helping people.
Yeah.
I'm not for necessarily giving things
Babysitting them.
where there's no expectations. I was raised and taught that, help those who help themselves.
100%.
If you're going to help yourself, then I'm there with you.
I'm willing to help you if you're
Then
gonna help
I'm willing to help
yourself.
you.
Without a doubt.
But I'm not willing to just give money to these other countries, and we're trying to penny pinch over here, like we're trying to save a buck. I'm not saying that that's not important, but how about we deal with this big money that we're throwing away and giving to these other countries? I think I heard that the amount of money that we've given to Ukraine over the last couple of years is more than all of the money we've ever given to Israel. And Israel is a legit ally. Even though some people will argue that, they're still a legit ally. And we certainly have an interest in the Middle East that we don't have in Ukraine. What the
There's
fuck
nothing in Ukraine.
I don't know what there is.
Or I guess
there might be something, but I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what resources they have that may be worth something, but I don't really know of any. And it's a corrupt country that is run by a dictator no different than Putin himself.
Yep.
He's not any different.
Just a different name.
That's it. So that's my whole point is taking care of us, our people, and bringing that money home. And honestly, I want to limit how much money we give to allies too.
I think we went over that chart, didn't we?
You know, we did. But I think most Americans are over it now. Most Americans are over struggling. You know, 'cause you don't hear me say this that often, okay? So Dawn and I stopped at the grocery store today.
Okay.
And bought some healthy shit, right?
Yeah.
We bought some fruit, there's gonna be more. We bought some bison. Bison's $9-10 a pound always.
Okay.
Bison's not cheap, and I don't.
It never has.
And me, I don't care. I don't care what it costs, what anything costs. I buy what I want to buy. I have the ability to do that. I'm grateful to God that I have the ability to do it, but that's what I do.
Yeah.
But I did look down for a quick second when my bill was $197. I'm like, what the fuck do I got in that cart? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I didn't have a lot. Like we
100%.
bought some yogurt.
Yeah, a little bit of fruit, maybe just.
I bought an orange juice. I bought a little Fairlife.
It's getting expensive.
I was like, and again, to me, it was no big deal, but
Yeah.
it did make me think. Excuse me.
Like what?
For some other people, this would be a big deal.
It'd be crippling.
Well, just because it really wasn't that much. It wasn't that much.
Yep. Like
food.
Products. Yep.
Yeah, like I'm gonna smash that in a few days. You know what I mean? Like that's gone.
Yeah.
That's my point in there. So yeah, when and I think that's a little bit about what the election was about. That when people are struggling and you keep trying to tell people that everything is okay and it's a great economy and they're finding it difficult and maybe have to put something back, or not get what they want to be able to get that's healthy. But then we're doing this for who and for why? And it's going to be over when? What's the objective? I mean, because we're not hearing that, you know what? It's really, really close. We got the Russians on the run. If we can just do this, this, and this, we can probably end this in the next 6 months. We're not hearing any of that.
Oh, no.
This is just unending shit. And after we spent how many years?
It's been
And what results did we get after how many years in Afghanistan and the trillions of dollars? Trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars that we spent there. For what results? How much love do we get from Iraq?
Probably 0 to none.
Right? We freed those motherfuckers. What good did that do us?
Nothing.
That's my point. The point that that's the whole management. Like sometimes, if you got to go kick somebody's ass, go kick their ass. But that doesn't mean we should be running their life afterwards. Right?
We're not their parents.
We're just gonna make it so you can't do shit to us again.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna come in. We're gonna smack you around. You're not gonna have the ability to do this, and that's how it's gonna be and be done. And then just leave.
How it should be.
Just leave.
Solve the issue. You go back home until there's another issue.
And you don't want to have an issue, and that's the point. That's what I love about you. You don't want an issue. You don't want an issue.
'Cause you saw what happened.
You don't want an issue. This is how it's going to be. You don't, and that's. I hope that he doesn't wait because this escalation stuff, and I'm getting messages from people. when I post this stuff,
Mhm.
that other friends and people that I know and that follow me, and one of them, their daughter and my daughter, her daughter and my daughter, went to school together,
Okay.
and her daughter's on a ship. She's in the Navy.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and I got two stepsons still, go through divorce, but I still love those
Yeah,
guys. I
100%.
still care about those
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
And, that's, we, it's funny. It's not funny, but it wasn't that long ago, probably around this time last year
Mhm.
when I was with them, we weren't talking about Russia. You know what we were talking about? China. We're talking about China. The preparations were for China. And
I
now it's
it's
all
weird. Yeah, we
shifted.
haven't ever. That's actually really
That's still
funny.
an issue too, because
I was
you
gonna
have the
say
whole
because China was like a
Taiwan and
huge
things.
problem, wasn't it? Like a few years
Yeah,
back.
like that was the talk, was China. The talk was not
Yeah, that is
Russia.
funny.
Now,
Now that you
like,
mention that, you're
and
right.
especially because of this escalation. And to me, what right do you have as an outgoing administration
Mhm.
to escalate this after you've just seen the will of the people? Like, technically, you may be able to do what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's not gonna
But
sit right with the people.
if the roles were reversed, you motherfuckers would be screaming about this, screaming about it. And I'm just, it's weird for me because I'd always been more on the Warhawk
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
That's just how it was, and raised, and just in the early 2000s, and the way that everything went after 9/11. And I'm, I, I- and remember this, please remember this, folks. I love my country. I don't always like my government, and I sure the fuck don't trust them.
Especially
I
when
love my country, but I don't trust my government. And so when you're telling me I shouldn't like this person or that person, or this person shouldn't be in charge of this government agency, well, that government agency lied to us. So there's that. And I don't know if you saw too, like, I'm not really surprised, but I'm surprised how fast everything happened today. So, update for you.
in New York.
The nominated attorney general, Matt Gaetz,
Yeah.
he withdrew. And so I was thinking, and I still never heard anybody talk about Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz should
Is he
have been
still
an
not being
option.
pulled?
No, but they talked about Mike Lee, who's a senator from Utah, and which would have also been a good choice. But I think Senator Lee, if Trump gets a chance to put somebody on the Supreme Court,
Mhm.
I mentioned Ted Cruz as
Yep.
an option. Mike Lee is another option. I
too familiar
I
with
could
Mike
see
Lee.
that happen big. But anyways, Trump nominated today Pam Bondi
Yep.
for Attorney General. Now, so Gaetz withdrew, Bondi is in. And can we say?
Yes, you can. Very good looking woman.
Dude,
Very, very good looking
she
woman.
has to be the best looking attorney general ever in the history of attorney generals.
Oh yeah. I would agree with that.
Right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Good for us. Because there's nothing I like more than hot women who are also smart.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a great
That's
combo right
that's
there.
I like
I'll
hot
take
women that
one of
are
those
smart,
any day of the
or a
week.
smart woman that's hot too.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that any day. Of
And
the
I'm
week.
sorry that that is totally. You want to call me a misogynist? Call me a misogynist now. You want to call me sexist? No, I think sexist would probably be better than misogynist, because I don't hate women. I love women. But sexist, you call me sexist now, that would be appropriate, and I'd be okay with it.
Would you be
I'm still okay with it.
But you're giving her compliments. Is that
Yeah,
still sexist?
but like, you don't hear this about men very often. Occasionally,
no.
you do.
Yeah, every once in a
Occasionally.
while. Yeah, but not very.
But
often.
you don't hear them talk about, whoa, man, he's a smart guy, but he's also a really attractive governor. You don't.
No,
you hear
you
that
don't
about
hear that.
Gavin Newsom a little bit.
Newsom.
Yeah, because some
He's a
people
good looking
think
man.
you know, he's got his little,
Okay, I get it.
You just see what I'm saying?
Kind of looks a little crazy with that first picture, but
but you understand what
you're
I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
People would say that about him.
Yeah, most political people aren't the best looking. Best looking.
Fuck
Hell
no, dude. But Pam Bondi,
Oh man, talk about that.
that,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I
I'm,
agree.
and she's tough, and I love that too. That's kind of a turn on. Totally. Like she was the attorney general the state attorney general in Florida. So
Okay,
she has a
Florida.
track record.
Okay.
So this one, her actually being a state attorney general,
Yeah.
they can't say she's not qualified, dude. And for Trump to pull somebody from Florida like this is brilliant. And let me say this.
Mhm.
I don't know what evidence I have, but I'm going to say this anyways.
That's cool with me.
I believe that Trump nominated Gaetz on purpose, and I believe he knew when he did so that in all likelihood it wasn't going to go through.
happen.
It
Okay.
wasn't going to happen.
That's-
And I believe it was strategic that he did that
Because then
to draw the fire, and that Gaetz is okay with it. There's a number of different things to draw the fire, and not just from her but from others.
others. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
people say, like, we can't stand, because they can't stand about 4 of Trump's picks.
Yeah.
Right? But the one they hated that made them lose their motherfucking minds was Gaetz.
So then he brings in whoever he wants, and now it's a lot better than what it was.
Well, like, especially because Trump only needs, remember how I told you Democrats changed the rules?
Yeah.
They only need 50 plus 1. And we got 53.
Yeah.
And we have 3 people that are wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And so that would leave J.D. Vance to do what Kamala Harris did and be in the deciding vote if necessary sometimes.
Yeah.
But those 3 that are like shitty, they're going to have a tough time not supporting this one.
Yeah.
They got to jump on board on this one. Do you see what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be,
No, they're
and
playing
it's going to
chess.
happen fast.
They're playing chess around here.
And
I love it.
And it's great because, see, I like when we have super well qualified women. I want super well qualified women in these positions of power to shove it down their motherfucking throat. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
Because now you can't. Because really, try to smear the woman, and they have. They did that during the Supreme Court nominations.
Mhm.
You know. And going after women, or if you're a woman that's Catholic and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they did that.
No, but that's, now that you point that out, that is honestly, it makes so much more sense. When you put it that way. Oh, man,
Yeah.
I love when you play chess. I love when
He
you
is playing chess,
I
man.
love it.
And he had this shit
Planned out.
planned out.
God.
And I guess there's a way for Gaetz to go back because he was elected. He could somehow reclaim his seat. There's a procedure for that. I don't know that he's going to do that.
After all the social media blowing
I
up.
think there will be another position for him.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So he's going to be somewhere in the ring.
It may not be in the administration. It may be advisory.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't going away.
Somewhere
Don't
close.
think he's going away.
Yeah.
That's not going to
He's
happen.
going to be the neighbor.
But this was all by design, and anybody who doesn't think so doesn't know Trump. You just don't know Trump. And so I thought this is really, really.
I didn't know
this is a beautiful one. This is a really good one. And again, I think it's good to have a woman in such a powerful legal position to do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because of how the Department of Justice was used wrongly to go after conservatives. That should never, ever be done. Ever. To either side. And they're all worried about Trump doing it to them. Trump is not going to do to them what they wanted to do to him. He's just not going to, dude.
He doesn't care
and
about
here's one
stuff
of the
like
biggest things. He doesn't have the fucking time now.
That is very
He's
true.
got it. He's got 2 to 3 years. His 4th year, you're a lame duck, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're just sitting there and just
There's
letting
just
things.
not much you're going to get done or they're going to let you do. But we'll have to see after the midterms if they're able to hold on or even increase the numbers of the power
Yeah.
that they have. And that could enable them to push things a little bit longer.
Mhm.
But the focus isn't on the current administration. I mean, in the last year, it's
Yeah.
not. It's on the election and going through that
Yeah.
whole process. So there's not a lot of time. And yes, it's its second term, but it's not a continuation of the first term
No. Yeah.
where it would be easier, where you have people in place. You got to go through that whole motherfucking process again of
Yep.
getting people in place.
So even that
And that's
first
why
2
this
years
seems
just-
so lightning fast
Yeah.
right now.
No, honestly,
He
though,
wants
yeah.
to move super, super fast to be able to attack this and to get
When
the things
January
done
comes around, he's
that
able
we
to do it.
want done.
Yeah.
We want this done.
No, I mean, and it's great to see initiative, right? Because a lot of the times you don't really hear about a lot of this stuff until like a little bit closer to January, or
Yeah.
at least to my knowledge. Again, I wasn't huge in politics, but like
Yeah,
it
dude, I've been around.
It's
and
usually not like the month of the like.
it can, but not this
very
fast.
often. Oh,
This
yeah.
is lightning, and like not just the heads. People that are in the deputy spots underneath. Those
yeah.
are being named. They're not all being talked about,
No,
but ones
but-
are being named and done with that. And like I would probably say that again, the Gaetz one maybe wasn't the most controversial one,
Yeah.
but certainly was the one that they hated the most.
So it was easier to blow up on media and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And it's going to be harder to go after Pete Hegseth, to go after Tulsi Gabbard, because, well, one, Tulsi is actually still in the military.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's still in the
I
she's
didn't
still
know
in
that.
the military. 21 years, and Pete, formerly,
Yeah.
being in the military, he's not serving now, but I don't believe so. But yeah, because he was. But I think it'll be harder to go after those two now. I
I'm
think
sure they'll
too.
try it though.
Well, yeah, they have tried and they have been.
No longer in the military.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Back
Because
in
he
21.
was I think he ended his time shortly after the time after Biden, after the inauguration,
Gotcha.
and he wanted to he was asked to stand down because of his tattoos that we went over,
Oh,
to
gotcha.
not participate, in the work that they were doing. And, I would be pissed about that too if I was him.
Yeah.
Somebody who, gave a really big portion of his life and went to combat. unlike
And they're like,
unlike the Minnesota governor, right, who
The-
pretended he
Oh,
had been in combat.
oh, you're right. He did say that. Then they called him out.
They called him out a couple times, dude.
You're funny. Yeah,
He
that's
looked
funny. There,
so
you're
so
right.
bad. So I think it takes a lot of heat off of these other picks too.
That's
So
that's-
and it gets, what it does is it'll get the Republic. The only people that have to get in line are the Republicans. The Republicans have to not shoot themselves in their own fucking foot.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I mean, they do have a history of doing it. So
They have a big history of doing it. So like that's the
I know my knowledge on politics isn't great, but I do know they like to shoot themselves pretty often.
Yes, that's it. Interesting today. Switching gears a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't have a primary care physician.
Okay.
And so I met with a doctor today
Mhm.
in Scottsdale,
Nice little drive.
hour and like away. But I'm glad we did. And this is somebody that Dawn had found.
Uh-huh.
And dude, I don't know how long he spent with us, 45 minutes or longer.
Wow.
He spent some time with me and going over my stuff and the experience I've had recently because of the COVID and the
Yeah.
heart stuff. And he's looking, and we talked about COVID. We talked about the conversations that we can have now that we couldn't have just a couple
Yeah,
years
yeah,
ago, and what he thinks about it. Very, very good. I was very impressed. And he said when we started talking about doctors and health and stuff, I brought up like that I didn't know that 80% of medical schools don't require, any nutritional
Nutrition.
classes at all.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't have any. But he's knowledgeable and he believes in that stuff
Yeah.
now. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's just that if you have a good doctor that cares about you and cares about health and not just writing scripts, well, the things that he learns, he's to give you the best care that you truly deserve. He's not getting in medical school.
Yeah.
He had to learn outside of medical.
You had to go
We'll
out
talk about
of
that.
his own way.
And talking about, like, they have a pretty good program, I guess it goes. So we're signing up with them, and that this way that if we have an issue, or like a woman, like women will get UTIs
Yep.
a lot, tract
Yep.
infections. Well, Dawn won't have to schedule an appointment. She can call
And just show up.
and they'll just call it in, because we pay a fee, and I just signed up for it, $90 a month, separate from insurance, just
Gotcha.
$90 a month. And I'm cool with that, dude, because we have to have a way
To be able to just show up
to
and get help.
compensate doctors to provide health care, not symptom care.
Yep.
And not just always treating the symptoms, but how many things. And, we went over the foods we've been talking about, and plastics. We talked about protein a lot. He brought up protein
yeah.
and the carnivore, and we had conversation. It was really interesting. So I really, really like him and appreciate this. And we're also going to focus on my sleep.
Good.
Because I don't sleep. And he said, I just don't have a really good pathway. That's one of the reasons that, I struggle sometimes with sleep apnea. I haven't done well with a mask, even though I have a CPAP. I don't use it. I don't really know how to set it. I'm not going to go into all those details. People don't message me about that shit. But anyways, I may have my dentist take a look. He's at, maybe something,
Okay. Like move around.
move my jaw a little bit
Yep.
to create more of a
airway.
pathway.
Yep.
And I grind too, so that would probably
I
be
have an
good
issue
to
with
do
that
that,
too,
and so I think that's good. And I was able to get, I think he prescribed trazodone, so there's a little bit of help to
Yeah.
be able to sleep, because that's always been the struggle. And for me to be as healthy as I am, to build the muscle that I have, I've had doctors tell me back when because I was diagnosed 3 different times with sleep apnea and did sleep studies and that kind of stuff, that like they couldn't believe the shape that I was in with
little
the
amount of
struggles
sleep.
that I have with sleep apnea
Yep.
and sleeping in general,
I'm surprised too,
because
to
of
be honest
how
with you.
important it is
Recovery. Yes.
for recovery and everything. And it
Yes,
is.
it's
And
huge.
I'm tired of struggling. And, that maybe could be, besides the COVID,
Yeah.
the, looking at my heart
Mhm.
and the beating is the bottom part of my heart.
Yep.
And maybe that's been a contributing factor. We're
can,
just
yeah.
trying to rule things out, because again, as I get further away from the episode in Vegas,
Mhm.
and continue to get strong, put on weight, healthy, build some muscle back, the better and better I feel, these symptoms that I had are going away.
Yeah.
So, can you have more than one thing at once? Yes.
Yeah.
He brought that, but we're just checking all the boxes and might as well, like I've never had the whole colon thing done. We're just going to go through it all and just, I'm 56.
You
I
never
have
know.
I
You
have
never
to,
know.
I have to at this point,
You're a man.
especially since I'm a proponent of health. I have to give in and do some of these things that I haven't done and need to do.
Yeah.
Regardless of how healthy I have been
Yep.
up until now.
Yeah.
Like really, like the last few years, I had issues with the hernia and
Yep.
shit that would happen and things like that. But overall health, I'm in great fucking shape. And that's why I didn't have a primary care physician. I moved. I had no
Reason.
there was no motivating factor.
Motivation. That's the better.
There was
way
no
to describe it.
motivating
Yep.
factor. And this gave me a motivating factor
Mhm.
to do that. And so I am doing that.
I'm happy for
And
that.
doing the, everything, checking all the blood work, which the blood work I do on a regular basis
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
that's That's my
That's your
thing.
whole. It's your whole thing. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And he asked what I do, and I told him, and he didn't say anything negative, like, it was like when I told him about the hormone stuff. Like I said, it was a very, very good. It was a very productive.
Conversation.
Yeah,
That's great.
and you
That's
just
always a
don't
good
have
feeling to
that
have.
with doctors. You just don't have. It's probably maybe one of the best experiences
Like
of
with
care
like
for
medical and stuff
myself
like
that I've ever had
That's
with a
amazing.
doctor.
I could only imagine what it feels like going home, going, wow, I have a good doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've had doctors that were really good that, had surgeries, like the doctor I had back in Toledo for my shoulder and
Mhm.
things like that. He was a really good surgeon, but still nothing like this.
Like the
And
knowledge that comes with it.
and somebody that actually,
Cares.
yeah, that
Yeah.
you genuinely, and the things that he was saying to Dawn for the limited time that he's seen Dawn
Yeah.
and knew and remembered, that was impressive too. So.
That's dope. I'm honestly like, because I've had horrible like things with doctors. So like being able to say, hey, I got a good doctor, that's dope.
Right?
That's honestly the way. That's a
That's-
flex.
that's a
That's
big-
a flex. I'll be honest with
That's
you.
a flex.
Oh, in my opinion, being healthy and having someone, because that's like the biggest thing, right? Is like if you don't know something, you gotta be able to trust someone that
That's it.
that they're
You
giving
gotta
you
be
the
able to
right
trust
information.
someone.
So being able to say, hey, I know that my doctor's giving me the right information and he's being truthful with me, right?
Yes.
Because that's the big thing, right? Like although he can know some stuff, and not a lot of the times they don't want to be fully truthful because it leads down certain paths and blah 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 blah. I've met plenty of different doctors that have met plenty of different like mentalities, but it's great to be able to say that you have a good
Yeah,
doctor.
we talked about the different regulations and things that that even he's under now, because I brought up the fact that that a specialist not being able to prescribe certain things would just seem crazy, but that's just how it is. But
Yep.
we have, that just let you know, we have bureaucrats and people that know nothing about this shit telling the people who do know about this shit how they're supposed to do their shit.
It's the most frustrating thing
What?
in the world.
Are you kidding me?
Imagine you're at work, someone comes in and tells you how to do your job. What?
That's never done your job.
What? That makes so much sense. Yeah, it's my favorite thing at a bank too. Someone comes in, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is how it's done." I'm like, I don't know
Right.
about that.
And for me personally, I like being able to have somebody that in healthcare, having a doctor that I can be, totally honest
Yeah,
with and share, because
exactly.
I deal with a lot of people that, their doctors turned them away from getting testosterone replacement therapy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're okay. And not dealing with the issues or hormone related issues and things like that. So having somebody that I can say, this is what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is, the things that I take, and being able to be open about that and not having somebody flip out about that. Like, oh my God, no, I'm not going to die. I'm in better shape than you, motherfucker. is a big deal. And we need more of that. And I guess that's just going to help keep me focused that it is possible to find someone, and it is possible to really stay on this path. I think that hopefully the whole country goes down when it comes to food, nutrition, health, working out. We have to be able to have honest conversations
That was
about
actually something I wanted to bring up to you. Did you see that RFK was already planning to ban like 90% of energy drinks and stuff like that? Yeah. A lot of people have been flipping out because they're like, our energy drinks, no.
Well, is that the case, or is it going to be certain ingredients that are going to have to be taken out?
Certain ingredients will have to be taken out, but because of that, a lot of companies will no longer, because it's like a main ingredient in there,
Like what?
like
I didn't see that. Let's see.
different caffeines, I want to say.
Because we got it right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's Coca-Cola. I'll have to find it for sure.
All right.
But I was reading about it that there was like
Yeah, bring that up next
90%
time.
of
That'd be interesting.
and then another thing that I was actually reading.
I didn't ask the doctor specifically about RFK, but the way the doctor talked to me, he definitely is definitely on the side of cleaning up our food.
Oh man, who
And he even
in their
brought
right
up like a
mind would know?
pesticide, and I brought that, and we had the conversation that we had on the program about the pesticides, aromatizing testosterone to estrogen, and the issues that makes. So that's cool. I'm excited. This is a great time.
Oh yeah, it's exciting. The amount of positive like things that I'm seeing is
That's what's
great.
cool too.
It's great.
Is you have the people, you do have these group of people that are flipped the fuck out, but you have a whole bunch of other people that are super excited about the possibility of real change that will benefit everyone.
Well, I don't know if you saw as well. Up in New York, they're actually grabbing a lot of like immigrants that have like criminal past and stuff like that and putting them away. There
Yeah.
was, I believe, 2 in New York that I saw this morning.
Well, I saw that there were 3 in, maybe was it Baltimore, where 2 of them were ones who had raped children.
Yes, that's okay. So it was Baltimore. Okay.
And they got them, and that's the mayor and stuff that said they weren't going to help, and governor, these governors that say they're not going to do this, and letting these people go, and have let these people go, and then committed these crimes. I told you that's going to be on their hands if they do not cooperate. But yeah, there's the ones that are going to be, why should we feed and house them?
Oh yeah, and then that was the thing. They were living in an apartment that was paid by tax dollars as well.
Yeah, this is stupid, man.
I was reading that article. I was just like, wow, paid for like roof, food, and everything, and they're just getting it all for free. Just
better than what
most
other people are getting. Yes, that's the point.
It's horrible. It is horrible.
Yes.
Another thing I learned today,
and like I said, but these were the ones you're talking about, just so people understand what we're talking. Well, these are real criminals. And now one of the 3 had actually, I don't know how they found out that the guy was convicted
in Brazil or something like that.
In Brazil, and left Brazil and came here.
Yeah, that's the exact same article I was reading.
Yeah.
Yep. But another thing that, because I have parents that are immigrants, they had to go through the whole process of getting papers and all that and stuff like that. Apparently, in that process, to do it properly, you have to have the COVID vaccine to be able to get documents. But someone that is here illegally does not have to have it.
We released them at the border through the whole pandemic, dude, without getting the vaccine. Now, we'll kick you out of the military for not getting the vaccine, but we'll let you in the country.
The more and more I read about different policies, the more and more I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is going on, man?
Dude, and that's
what
just
the
it.
fuck is going on?
And that's good, and I appreciate that about you, because everybody doesn't have that
the ability to read.
No, the ability, common sense,
to
dude.
Look for,
that's just common fucking sense.
Like, it's just so stupid. Because look, coming from a family that had to go through that entire process, that took years.
Yes.
Years.
Yes.
And thousands of dollars to do it.
Yes.
And look, I got nothing against immigrants, right? I come from an immigrant family, but if you're not gonna, like, if you're just like, the struggle that we had to go through, and everyone's just skipping through all that, and like the amount of, like, my mother,
that's why the vote went the way it did.
My mother did not get to see her own mom when she passed away. You know how devastating that was for me to see?
I can't imagine.
That shit was, and just like, hearing that other people are just able to just go about their lives and like not even like
But
again,
you value,
bro, it's so crazy.
They
man.
value it.
It's so
they
crazy.
value being Americans. They value the
They went
opportunity
through the process of
that
doing
other
it, man.
people
Like, it's so stupid, man.
that were born here, like me, that take shit for granted.
Yeah.
No, man. No. That's why that shit don't fly with me, dude.
No,
because the people who have had that have come here and put in the work, that did it the right way and put in the work and to have a better life, you're shitting on those people by saying, "Oh,
fuck
yeah,
the rules.
it's not that important.
Yeah.
It's not that important."
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Because of vote, we want your vote. No, man.
It's crazy. It is honestly like, and this is one of the main reasons why in my entire life I stayed out of politics, because I knew things like this happen, and it just makes me so angry. It makes me so upset that it is the way it is. So yeah, those are some
That's
things
how
that I
I would
learned
get
this morning.
You'll manage your way through it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You will.
I've lived my life through it too, so like it's
Yeah, but I mean, you will, like,
accepting
because-
of like the issues and stuff like
yeah,
that.
because it'll be a little bit of it's okay that it's a little bit of a struggle for a moment,
Oh yeah,
and to have a little bit of anger and feelings about it. It's just, it's
part of it.
okay.
No, it's part of the process. I understand.
Yeah.
But it is like this morning, especially because I believe there was a video of so a wife was talking about the whole like you go through the entire process of having to do this and that, it takes years, takes thousands of dollars, and then this comes back saying, hey, oh well, you're good, but you don't have a COVID vaccine, so we can't let you become a U.S. citizen. Like over a COVID vaccine that we know that it isn't researched properly. We know like all these different things and like,
All the things we could say about it
bro,
now.
Oh my god. That was super frustrating, but
Yes.
but hopefully, you know, the
Hopefully.
future is bright. The future is bright.
You've been watching a little Patrick Bet David?
A little bit.
Yes, those guys are good. Appreciate them too. And we appreciate you and appreciate y'all being a part of the show, the program, and just letting me kind of just share, man. Just kind of share. And I know other people, you know, you don't have necessarily the time or the platform to do it yourself, to be able to do this. And you know, that's why some people listen, because you find somebody that's saying the things that you think and saying them out loud. And that's what I want to do. I want to question. I want to learn. I want to bring guests on, and we're working on that, to, you know, on all of these various topics and things that are of interest to me, and to see where this goes and what type of influence we can have. But that influence is not without you. So just wanted to big thank you for that. So that's our show for today. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life.